that. Welcome to Saturday. And for those who are here live, you guys are going to get a gift. And even if your camera's not on, as long as you're participating. Oh, there we go. Coach B's gone down. I don't know where you're going, into space. Hyperdrive. As long as, when you're here, if you're here, huge respect. Love it that you've attended live. I know not everybody can. So I've got a gift I'm going to share you guys that I'm really excited about. I'm going to tell you about it just now. And you're going to have to hang around if you want that gift. I'm not going to give it to you now, just in case you go, oh, I've got what I need, and you disappear. I love these Saturdays. It gives me a chance to focus. It gives me a chance to share. And sometimes it is along the program, which is what I've been doing, my what's called the Professional Pointer Program. Other times it's lessons that I've learned and things that I think are valuable that I love then just sharing. And that's exactly what I want to do today. So I'm going to pull up my screen and just share a little bit about where I was and where I was last weekend and what I learned from one of the most profound experiences I've had in a long time. So I'm going to share 10 lessons that I've learned and how applicable it is to life in general, whether it's power gifting, whether it's your life in general, but just some things that I've really picked up on, which has helped me hone in on what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. Is that good? Would you like me to? Everybody for that? You want that? Yeah, one person. There we go. Thank you. All right. Yeah, Festina, you can also do that. I can see you. And then I can do this, and then we can celebrate. There we go. Elizabeth's in the house. Hello, Tina. Wonderful. Show us your face. Otherwise, just share some love. So when I share my screen, I'm not then able to see all the fancy reactions that you do. I do have some of you on the side of my screen, but not many. So that means you're going to need to use the chat box. You're going to need to show me the icons. Because then Tim here just don't have a picture. All right, well, we'll have to sort that out, why you don't have a picture. Okay, but you can see me, so as long as you can see me. Somebody say, I can see your screen. So I'll pick up if you put something in the chat. There we go. Thank you very much. There we go. All right. Let's jump straight into this. So, creative focus. So the creative focus is what I shared, I think it was 2 weeks ago. That's this document. In the chats quickly, did you guys enjoy it? Was there value in it? Have you tried doing it? Do you have any questions on the creative focus? Or perhaps you saying, what is that and how can I be involved? Tell me your story. Creative focus was all about honing in on 4 key areas of your life and just breaking down simply 4 areas to focus on in 4 areas. My body, my home, my relationship, my work. So in the chat's there. Has anybody done it? You're busy with it? Because remember, this is a program. This is not something you do in one weekend. When I first did this, after I put this together, it was at least 4 weeks, I think it was, because it took time. So in the chats, because I can't see your anything else because I don't have your screen on, because I'm watching my screen here. Busy with it? Interesting? What is this? Anybody got any reaction for me? No reaction. Hey? Well, if you're listening to the recording, watch the recording from 2 weeks ago, because that's where I'll also explain what is this creative focus and how you can use this to identify key goals, just 4 of them, just 4, nothing dramatic, to work out the reason why you want that goal. In other words, what feeling do you create or do you have when you attain that goal? You need to know the feeling before you actually receive what it is that you're looking for. Simple example is you buy a new car. Why do you want a car? Why do you want that new car? It's how it makes you feel. You can buy any car to go from A to B. It can be an old thing, but why do you want that new car? What is that feeling, sensation that you get from having that? Because that's the focus area. So that's what this the creative focus exercise is. And if you haven't got it, I did post it on the group, so you're welcome to it. So that's what we did before. I'm going to be sharing some lessons learned from stage. And then we'll do some Q&A and a little bit of an update. And a free gift as well, which is what I've said. I love this picture. So often we find ourselves giving up. Doesn't matter what it is in life. You find yourself giving up. The one thing that continues to drive me is this thought that what if my growth, what if the change, what if that thing that I've been working towards is just on the other side of that discomfort, just one little bit further, when then suddenly it takes off. And I've seen this time and time again where, is this working? I don't know if it's working. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Has anybody got those feelings? Have you thought that? Have you felt that before? And you just want to quit and give up. But then you push through a little bit more, and suddenly things start to slowly trigger and take off. Has anybody here found that? Festina started. In the end, all roads led to one thing I want. Yeah, love it. Brilliant. It does. You just got to maintain that focus. You just got to keep going. So that's a key thing here. I set this up and have not gone further as I'm learning how to understand the use of Microsoft. Okay, all right. Well, you'll get there. You'll get there. But I know you're on a learning growth spurt anyway at the moment. So this is just one of those things. So let's go through. Do you want to see a little excerpt from me last weekend? Should I play this or should I fast forward over it? Remember, I can't see you, so if you're giving a thumbs up, I'm not going to play it. It's just a little clip. So what this was, let me play it and then I'll explain to you. I'll play it first.
It was over 3 years later that I first learned about harnessing the power of my breath for a stress-free life while I was training to climb Mount Kilimanjaro of all things. And what I discovered was, if you're breathing through your nose, it acts as a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system, which automatically calms you if you're stressed and anxious. Now this fascinates me. So I started to investigate more breathing techniques and the benefits. And I stumbled across this guy who introduced me to transformational breathwork journeys. I'm on my first journey, and it feels like I've hit a reset button for my mind, my body, my soul. I feel free of stress and anxiety for the first time in years, and a clarity of mind. I'm hooked.
So it's just a little bit of an excerpt, or a clip. Not the best recording because it was taken from my phone. I'm waiting for the official one still. And here's first gift for you. Where are we? So I'll tell you more a bit of play. Thank you. A bit more about that now. Take your phone out. Take a picture of this. Well, don't take a picture of this. When you open up your camera, scan this. It's a QR code. This will take you to my new book. So it's a free book, From Burnout to All Out in 60 Seconds. My phone is too old to do this. Well, you're just going to have to upgrade your phone then. DM me and I'll send you the link. QR codes is the big thing these days. It's just so easy. So everything for me is on QR codes, and I'll share another one with you just now. Upgrade your phone. Come on. This is my new book. I share it with you guys. I haven't shared it very wide as yet, but I'm going to give it to you so you can see what you can actually do in your life to help you calm, focus, release some stress and anxiety. And I've really loved putting it together. So, yeah. I have this one 8 years looking very well after it. Well, maybe you need an upgrade, Dr. C. Okay. That's a gift for you. 10 lessons I learned. So what actually happened? One slide back. Okay. Some of you may not know, a little bit of a background. I'm part of the Professional Speakers Association of South Africa. And one of my primary goals and focuses is the stage. And I pushed myself beyond my comfort zone by competing in the national competition called Speaker Factor. The purpose of the competition is a 5-minute talk on your key topic. But there's very specific frameworks within this talk. And my talk was primarily aimed at the C-suite market, the corporate executive market, around stress release in order to avoid burnout, which is my personal story. Some of you maybe know my story. And within this, there's competition. So there's the regional, then there's the semi-finals, and then the finals are done on stage, which is live at the conference last week. So it's all on Zoom, and then the final is on a stage. And I got through to the finals on stage with 4 other people. So there's 5 people in the finals, and competed against some other people who speak on stage professionally already and have been doing it for a while. And this was the first time I'd been on stage with a microphone since 2019, actually, because with COVID, I went online. Everything's been done on Zoom. So I knew I was up for an uphill battle, but I was in for it all. So while I never got first place, I still won. And here's why I won. I'm going to share some of these things with you now. First thing, true growth is found on the other side of your comfort zone. You need to break outside and get uncomfortable. Find that discomfort point for true growth to be found. And the more uncomfortable that it is, the bigger that is gift wrapped for you in massive transformation and growth. This was way outside my comfort zone. I'd never done a talk like this before. I'd been on stage for 5 years. I'm talking in front of peers, some of whom are international speakers who flew in from around the world. And there was about 85, 90 odd people in the audience, and many of them are highly paid, highly accredited professional speakers. Now I'm standing in front of them, little old me, sharing my story. That was far beyond my comfort zone that I'd ever been before. The growth was phenomenal. The growth was tenfold, 100-fold more than the pain and the discomfort from the process of actually getting there. True growth is found on the other side of your comfort zone. Imposter syndrome affects all of us. Put in the chats here. Does imposter syndrome affect you sometimes? So when I was first told last year by a coach, Tim, you've got imposter syndrome, I had to go and Google it, to be honest with you. I thought, really? Do I? What does it actually mean? Does anybody here suffer from imposter syndrome? I think everybody does. And there was actually a professional speaker, I think it was from the UK, that said he suffers from imposter syndrome. And he's been a professional speaker, I think it was for over a decade now. What does this mean? So yeah, here we go. Imposter syndrome, very often. Other people see you in a very different light to you see yourself. I do not see myself as impactful on stage as other people see me. I do not feel that I can create the same energy and force, and I am that person that other people see of me. We all have this, where we are very self-critical of ourselves and don't believe we are as strong, as big, and as powerful. And I'm not saying that if you don't have it, you're arrogant. You need a certain amount of arrogance. I do have, and it's a positive arrogance as opposed to a negative arrogance. I'm not putting myself above anybody else at all. So imposter syndrome affects all of us to some point. And I had to really go inside and realize and think, hang on a second. Let me listen to what other people say their truth is that they see in me, and work towards and live up that level. When you're at that level, imposter syndrome grows. I don't believe it ever goes away. But this is also something that you can continue to grow to. And I really had to go inside myself and work out, what is it that is holding me back from actually living and projecting what it is that other people see? Because then I'm going to lift my game. The third one, and there's no specific order, I put these 10 points down, by the way. Ask for constructive feedback and be prepared to accept it all. In learning and preparing for this, from before I did the first round, I reached out to other speakers who were proficient. I reached out to the winner of 2023 Speaker Factor competition, and I ran through my talk. I shared my talk, I videoed it, they'd watched it live, and they critiqued me. Not just, Tim, that's good and wonderful, keep going. No. This didn't work. That doesn't make sense. My opinion changed this, do that. The constructive stuff. Here's what you need. Don't need is an ego. They're not criticizing you. They're helping you improve. We need to be open to constructive feedback for growth. And I picked up that a lot of people struggle with that. Not me, not anymore. I used to. But I've learned that I need to take on board what somebody else is sharing. It's their opinion. It doesn't mean that it has to be my fact. But I'm only going to grow if I listen to somebody else's opinion. It's up to me whether I take it on board or not. So when I was getting feedback after the first round and then after the semifinals and with my practices, and I approached Verity Price, the world champion in professional speaking, in 2021. She's a world champion, not just South African, world champion. You're talking about huge. I approached other champions and highly proficient and expert speakers to ask for their guidance and their assistance and their opinion, because that's how I knew I was going to grow. And there was a number of them said, how do you want me to share it with you? And my answer was, I need it all. Great to know what I'm good at. I need to know what I need to do to improve. If I'm an 8 out of 10 now, what do I need to do to get to an 11? I have no chip on my shoulder. I have no ego loaded on. That way, I was able to listen and take on a lot more information and grow. Be prepared to accept it all. I never knew, you never know what you're capable of until you give it a go. Now, I started this already 2 years ago when I began my new journey of what I'm doing now, where my philosophy at that point was, do it anyway. I don't feel I'm ready. I don't feel I'm strong enough. I don't feel I'm good enough. Do it anyway. That way, I could screw it up and then improve and improve on it and improve on it. But if you don't go out there and speak to the people, phone the people, get on a stage, do a Zoom, whatever it is, you're never going to know what you're capable of. Who knows after a year where else you could be, how much you're going to grow. Say your message in 10 words or less. This came to me. I was taught this by a number of people. I've written many talks. I hold keynote talks as well. I've done international talks only on Zoom. One day it'll be flying in person, but I've done a lot of local talks, some free, some paid. Easy to write, easy for me to put together. Well, not easy, but it's simpler for me to put together a 45-minute keynote talk or a coaching program. I had to do this in 5 minutes. How do you say your message to inspire people to take action in 5 minutes? Not as easy as it sounds. The next thing is, can you say what you need to say in 10 words or less? So you may have heard about an elevator pitch before. Okay? This is a shortened version of that. If when you're talking to somebody, be it about a specific platform, power gifting, something you're doing, your business, and you cannot answer, what do you do? In 10 words or less, you don't know what you do. That for me was massive. And maybe we'll do a coaching session on that separately. I did one yesterday with the local network and the feedback was absolutely amazing. To just hone in on just the 3 key criteria that everybody needs to know. Let me know if you want me to do some training on that. We can do it another time. Listen more than you speak. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use it in proportion. That's where you learn. Now, I had dinners with 16 one day, and then I think it was over 20 people sitting around a dinner table. And my wife, Monica, laughed at me. She says, so when you get a group of professional speakers together, who talks? And I said, everybody, all at the same time. There's never a quiet moment. The key thing is balance between listening and speaking. If you're speaking, you're not learning. If you're listening, you're learning. And one thing that I learned many years ago, I think I read in a book, I can't remember, I can't attribute it to who it wasn't me, but I learned this. If I'm listening to somebody and I disagree with their position, listen more, because then I may learn something. In other words, put aside what I believe and have a listen. That's something which I've learned so much by doing that. Doesn't mean I have to agree with them. But as soon as I want to chip in, I don't agree with you, you stop learning. But there's been many perspectives that I've learned and understood and grown from because I listen more than I speak. If you want to be a professional, hang around with professionals. So one of the speakers was an international speaker. Said that whatever industry you're in, whatever sport you're in, whatever you're doing, whatever you're passionate about, whatever hobby you do, How are you going to have other people see you as a professional if you are not part of a professional organization? If you are not connecting with other professionals, if you're not part of a network of other like-minded people, that's also a huge area how you grow. Hang around with professionals. Many of the key lessons that I've picked up and learned over the last week was from hanging around and networking and having dinner with and coffee with and breakfast with other professionals who are way further in the industry than where I am, who are where I would like to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time. Hang around with them. There's a lot that I learned from stage. There's just as much that I learned from being in that environment. The next one, collaboration over competition. One of the big reasons why I wanted out of corporate market, which is over 6 years ago now, was being frustrated with competition. Does anybody else have that feeling? Put in the chats here. Do you agree with that? Do you feel that, sometimes this competition within companies is all about this is the amount of people, the size of the pie, and all of us in the same industry are trying to steal client base from each other and be better than each other. Oh, how many people do you have? How many in the hospitality industry? It's rife. It's horrible. I used to run a restaurant, and if I was quiet, I'd send spies out. Or I'd get the hostess to phone the other restaurants to see how busy they are and get annoyed because they're busier than me, because you're just fighting over this one pie. That's competition. Very negative energy. Collaboration is the key thing. What I loved about the professional speakers, their philosophy, their motto is, it's not the size of the pie. When we collaborate, we're not fighting over that size pie. Grow the pie. There's enough for everybody, and every single person is unique, has a unique message. You may be a professional in one thing, and there'll be somebody else who's a professional in the same thing, but you've all got a different story. You've got a different approach. Somebody's going to connect with you and not the other person in the same industry. There's more than enough clients out there in the world for everybody to serve, be of service of, and also to receive from. Collaboration. Love it. Practice, practice, practice. Key thing, whatever you're doing. You need to phone people. You need to speak to people. You want to talk to people about power gifting. You want to talk to people about your business, about something else that you've got going. Practice, practice, practice. Find an accountability partner. Find a coach. Don't ever. You can never practice too much. In order to stand on a stage, I visualized it. Every single day after that semi-finals, when I was new to the finals, there was about a 10-day gap. Every day, I visualized that entire process. I practiced it in my mind. I felt it in my heart, my body, my soul. I arrived early to the conference. I stayed late before so I could get onto stage with the microphone, with the sound guys, to then practice, to hear what I'm hearing. Because it's different when you're on stage with a microphone than you're just talking. Very different on Zoom. How do I walk on stage? Where's everybody? How do I move? What is my body language? Practice, practice, practice. You can never have enough. And the last one came across consistently. Authenticity is key. Be uniquely you. People want to know who you are. What is your story? Why is this important to you? But be authentic and genuine. Don't tell them what you believe they want to hear. You don't know what's going on in somebody else's mind. Share who you are, your authenticity, what your problem was, what you did about it, and what the result has been. Quite simple. Just 3 simple steps. What your problem was, what you did about it, and what the outcome was. That's your story. And if you can encapsulate that in 10 words, if you can encapsulate that in a sentence as your elevator pitch, anything of your discussion is all about that, because then they'll go, oh, I recognize that. Oh, is that what you did? Is that what you got from it? Wow. Could I do that? If you can project your story well enough that other people see themselves in you, then you'll have people who will say, I want to learn. I'd like to follow you. I'd like to join. Where else can I learn more? You get them to now make the decision themselves. So authenticity is a massive, massive thing, especially in this fast-paced world that we live in, full of fake people on social media, TikToking, Facebooking, I'm amazing, life is wonderful, and you go on social media and you go, oh, that person's always good, they're always traveling and they're always so happy and da, da, da. You don't know the problems going on behind. I can guarantee you 99% of those people, it's a mask. Be authentic. Be genuine. The world needs more of that. So those are top 10, or 10 I should say, of my main things that I've learned from stage, what I've been doing in the last few months, really, I should say, primarily the last week. Finishing off, Jim Rohn says, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. And I love that quote by him. All comes from internal, not from external. It comes from in here. You decide. You're in charge. You're in control. It's all up to you, no one else. And if you want more of what I do and find out, and I post daily, sometimes it's information, sometimes education, sometimes it's a bit of sales, because I have a business, obviously. Follow me on LinkedIn. I am on Facebook, but not very often. It's not where the people are, and Facebook is not the business side of things. So LinkedIn and then YouTube is where I am as well. So scan that again, and if you haven't got a new phone, well, maybe it's time you actually got one. So that is the story for today. I hope you gained value of that. Thank you very much. Now the lesson's over. How have we done? Hello, Sean. Wonderful to see you here. Hello, Tina. Very well, not too bad. Half an hour. That's what I wanted to do. So based upon what I've just said, has anybody got any questions, any thoughts? Maybe you recognize yourself in one of those lessons and you've got something that you'd like to share where you followed a similar thing and found a result. Let's hear from you guys. What do you got to add? Festina, please, you're welcome to unmute.
The 10 words example. Let's apply it to power gifting, and let's say some other example.
Okay. So with your 10 words, and we'll just keep it very simple now because the training is actually a bit longer. In the 10 words, you want to identify what you do, why you do it, and who you do it for. Those are 3 things. Okay? So my message is how to harness the power of your breath for a stress-free life. So what do? I teach you how to harness the power of your breath. Harness your breath. Use your breath. Who do I do it for? Those who are stressed. What do you get from doing it? You get a stress-free life. So I'm looking for stressed people. And I use breath to reduce the stress. So harness, it's actually 11 words for me, but shoot me. Harness the power of your breath for a stress-free life. What do? How do you do it, and who do you do it for? So here's the thing. Turn this for power gifting, but your unique story. It's not easy, guys. Start it off as a sentence, paragraph. Then take out the filler words, the words that don't add weight. Reduce it from a paragraph to a sentence. Then in that sentence, take out the words which don't add weight to get to 10 words or less. If you look at some big ones, very short, Verity Price, who's the professional speaker that I spoke to you about, her words are, write a different story. That's it. Write a different story. You've got and you can look at it in marketing. Marketing does it all the time. Nike. What's Nike's slogan? What do they say?
Just do it.
Just do it. So when you think of Nike, what do you think of? Just do it. That's their message. So the message is something so simple. Now, you're probably not going to remember mine. Mine is still too long because I haven't got it right yet. I'm not saying what my message is actually the end result. No, it evolves over time. Coca-Cola. What is Coca-Cola's message for decades? Who remembers? Come on.
No idea.
Coke is it. That was it. So I like to look at it a little bit more, with a bit more detail than just that, because they've got a brand. We don't have a brand. Life is better with a Coke. Yep. I don't have a brand. I'm not a Coca-Cola or a Nike, so I'm going to give a little bit more information there. That's where I say there's 3 things you want to encompass in it. So see if you can work that out. It's not as easy as it should be, as it could be. It takes time. But that's where you can use that when you want to talk to somebody about power gifting. You say, listen, I want to talk to you. You just say, well, this is what it is. And you want to catch their attention. You go, oh. Now, I don't have it. I haven't spent the time on it for power gifting. It's something that I will do. But see what you come up with, because it must be uniquely you as well. So that then the people can, well, that sounds interesting. What do you mean? Because that's what you want. You want to elicit interest. Where they then ask you, what's that? What do you mean? Does that help you, Festina?
Yes, it does. I really like this.
I challenge you to try it. Like I said, start with a paragraph or a long sentence, cut out the filler words, say it out loud, record it and listen to yourself and go, well, I don't need that word. That word doesn't add value or emphasis to it. Take it out until you really narrow it down. When you can narrow it down, then you know exactly what you do. Thanks for the question. Any other thoughts on those 10 points or something else I've shared here today? Coach B, what's on your mind? You're looking like you're, apart from the fact that you're floating in space or flying through space, what's on your mind?
Well, let's get back to when I started doing the power of gifting presentations. Before I did it, the previous night, I'd literally taken your whole script, word for word, and I was practicing over and over it. So I wanted to be a mini Tim, because I wasn't good enough. I was a fake. And I think after my first one, my wife said, why are you reading it? It's terrible. The second one, I've tried to memorize most of it. The third one ended up being in a coffee shop, and everything was going wrong. And I'd need help in the background of the slides, because my laptop wouldn't connect to the internet. And it's the first time I really had to live with it. And I realized I could do it.
Brilliant. Yeah. That's it. That's so true. But you had to start somewhere. You had to start somewhere. When I did when I first practiced the talk, I did it in person here in Langebaan to the local network. I was as nervous as hell. I had to have my notes with me on my phone because I couldn't remember it. I stuffed it up. It's only meant to be 5 minutes. 8 minutes later, I'm still talking. It was a disaster. But you got to start there to get to the end point. You got to start somewhere. Otherwise, you're just never going to get there. And that's where, Coach B, you grew. Exactly. You don't want to be a mini-me. You've got your own story. You've got your own voice. Be yourself. Be authentically you. No one else. Thanks for sharing. So if anybody else out there who's thinking, oh, I can't do a presentation, just remember what Coach B said. It's where you start. Thank you.
I had some Coach B said. Years ago, I was working then there was this amazing lady a phenomenal speaker. The name was Glenda. Tim, you and
So, Festina, you keep cutting out, so maybe just turn off your camera for now, and then it might be
is
better.
this better?
Let's give it a go.
Years ago, I was at networking, and the lady's name was Glenda or Brenda. Tim, you or Ningy might remember her, but she was phenomenal. And afterwards, I to her and I said, one day, I want to be like you. And she said, no, you've got to be more of you.
We keep losing you. Oh dear, we've lost you, Festina. But yes, I think I get the gist of what you're saying. Mute when someone speaks, Tim. Sorry, let's go again, Festina. Give it a try. So you were saying, Glenda, go for it.
Yes, years ago, I was at a networking function, and the lady's name was Glenda or Brenda. I can't remember, but Tim, you and Ningy might remember her. And she was an absolute phenomenal speaker. And afterwards, I actually walked up to her and I said, one day I want to be like you, because, wow, she was just amazing. I still get goosebumps when I think of her speeches. And she said, no, you've got to be more you. So this is just to add on to Coach B. We all are unique, and we've just got to be more of us and not try to be someone else. And that stuck with me. Just be more of me.
Brilliant. Love it. And Ningy says it was Glenda Leonard. I remember. Is that right? Glenda Leonard. Amazing. There you go.
Yeah.
Dr. C says, my wife keeps reminding me to be myself. You sure? Doesn't she want you to be somebody else? Okay, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. Any other thoughts, comments on what we shared? Anybody got a story, something that they'd like to share? All right. Wonderful. Loved sharing this with you guys this morning. So what else has been happening? Let's just chat. Let's just turn over and hear what Dr. C's got to say, a little bit of an update, and then we'll hand over to Ningy.
Good morning, good morning. I've got a bit of background noise. Yeah, I'm not going to speak too long. We are busy. There is movement in the background, and the update is coming soon, where you'll have a good, clear picture of what's happening. That's all I'm saying this morning. Thank you so much.
That was a lot said in few sentences. Sorry.
No, it's fine, Tim. You can wrap that up, then I'll come in.
No, I've wrapped up. You're Ningy. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Dr. C. Good morning, everyone. I am excited. I am excited. I am excited. I think that's all I'm going to say as well. But just to echo what Dr. C has said, the update is coming very soon, very, very soon. I'm excited. Family, I'm excited. Yeah, Tim, thank you for that valuable, valuable lesson. It's always nice to walk a few steps in your shoes. You are on an incredible journey of growing oneself. You know, it's so valuable. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ningy. That's a pleasure. I love sharing with you guys, so it's wonderful. It's lovely to have a community and be part of a group of inspired, like-minded people. Yes, so if you look in the YouTube there, Coach B's put a YouTube link for Verity Price. You'll pick up on her talks and what she does. Very inspirational lady. And South African. She was actually the first African to win the international competition, the first female African. And she's now won multiple other awards since then as well. So she's definitely a person. Yeah. Thanks, guys. All right. So you heard it there from Dr. C. You heard it from Nick. I'll still be here on Monday. We're just going to do a connection. I'm not going to do the presentations. We'll do a connection and a chat. Join, give us an update. Tell us what's new and exciting in your world. Let's motivate and stay connected. It's that community which we are. We are a family, and that's what we're going to keep. So we're still around. We're not running anywhere. There's a lot happening in the background. We're here to just assure you and say this is still, power gifting is still here. As I've said before, we may not be showing, you may not see it being very powerful, but power gifting is powerful. Just wait. There's a lot of things, and unfortunately, patience is what's needed. Maybe that's not unfortunate. Patience is all that's needed. So hang around, stick to us, share with the community and say, hey guys, we're still around. In fact, what I'd encourage all of you to do here live is after this, just go to the general section on the Telegram group and just give some feedback, your comments. One thing that you took away from today, just so that other people can see that there's more than just me posting or Dr. Clinton or Ningi. Put something from your perspectives on the general channel so that the guys in the community can see, oh, hang on a second, there is stuff going on. Let me find out. Let's listen to the recording, which is great because that way they stay connected. So please, I encourage you to do that. And if you're listening to the recording, after the recording, go to the general section, go to the motivating section on the Telegram channel and put your comments. Will you do that? Are you for it? Give us a thumbs up if you're going to do that. There we go. I've got fireworks. I must work out what else I can do. There's other stuff here that I can do as well. I can't remember. Anyway, ciao everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys all on Monday night, 7 p.m. South Africa time.
Thank you, Tim.